Well, it is time for us to get back and get going. There's some show I used to watch in my childhood.
Where?
It was showing blow some bubbles. It's time for us to blow some bubbles.
So where are the bubbles?
No,
did the show have
was
the
showing
bubbles?
bubbles. It was for children, my age back then. So, we were blowing bubbles. So every time you play,
what mood are you in right now?
You blow the bubbles. So it is time for us to keep you updated and informed.
It's a happy 29th day of March, and being a Tuesday, SMB runs about on a theme of business management. How are you making sure you manage the firm, you manage the entity, the company you are in for? How are you not just managing even business, how are you managing home? Because we've got people who do businesses at home. They stay at home. That is when you try to monitor home. That is your business. But I don't want it to be business if you're not making money at the end of the day. So bweziba sente za kameza, that is business. How are you making sure you are saving on that money? It's not a matter of you always, pickpocketing it and spending it all, going to buy bananas every day. How are you saving a 1,000 from table money? Is it kameza money, kasente za kameza, everything like that? But also you need to look out for, as you're doing your businesses, you need to know the weather, how friendly is it going to be. And just a tip for you, if you're around Kampala areas, it's a bit warm, not very cold, though we will be anticipating some rains, because sometimes it's unpredictable around. So I'm telling you from the experience of what is happening these days, you either carry along a jacket or sweater, because sometimes the weather around Kampala is unpredictable.
Quite unpredictable, really. When you look at the situations, for example, as I was actually coming in the morning, it threatened to rain. It just drizzled. That is Chitende. So it actually drizzled for around not even 5 minutes. Then it's I
think that is what happened from my area as well.
So mainly in some of the areas, and when you look at some areas that actually been for like the last 2 weeks without experiencing rain, they were hoping that today at least rain would come in and save them from the dust, the too much dust that is associated in there to some people who actually do a lot of business. But well, with that, let's first head to the SMB reports, and this time around what we do have is insurance. And this particular one, we're going to be looking at the Insurance Regulatory Authority. And as they launched a mortality table yesterday, an assured mortality table yesterday.
So they're trying to assure people that my mortality rate is going
according to our reporter, our field reporter was there in the interaction that I got yesterday. No, this time I wasn't somewhere. They said that this is that the tables that we are using were not ours. That we used to use tables from different countries. Now this time around, the ones that were launched were ours.
Okay.
So let's first have a look at this report.
First insurance companies to submit their data were CIC Africa Life Assurance, ICEA Life Assurance, Jubilee Insurance Company, Liberty Life Assurance, Prudential Insurance Company, among others. Emmanuel, chairperson of Uganda Insurers Association, says the mortality experience will help guide businesses in Uganda.
Possible, the mortality experience that guides the business in Uganda.
Emmanuel says restructuring the recording of the data and adoption of regulating methods that will close the data gaps.
Better. We appreciate the adoption of graduation methods that were used to plug the limitation of data gaps that we had in the data that we submitted as the industry. And speaking on behalf of the industry, we pledge to participate more during the data collection phase, at the next round of data collection. And as a secretariat, we also pledge to secure the professional services of an actuary who will then work and sit with each of the insurance companies to make sure that the data that is submitted then for the mortality tables update is data that is admissible, that has all the required fields. possible, so that the next round of tables possibly will be 2020, maybe to 2023, not too sure, but the professionals will tell us will be all encompassing and very, very comprehensive.
Brian Akimanzi, the senior financial sector specialist, says the life insurance industry does a great job, like growth of premiums at 100 billion in 2015 to 324 billion in 2020 represents annual growth of 27%.
World Bank team based in Washington, D.C. has spent considerable time working with IRA to develop these mortality tables. But as you were, I'm sure it's 2 a.m. somewhere in Washington, D.C. My colleagues who had wanted to be here, unfortunately, could not be here to celebrate with you all as we celebrate this milestone. They shared some brief remarks, which I'll read out today. And just allow me to thank you. So the life insurance industry has seen tremendous growth, as you're all aware. We've seen growth from premiums at 100 billion in 2015 to about over 324 billion in 2020. This represents an annual growth of about 27%, which is incredible.
Akimanzi says insurance penetration rate still remains low, about 0.07% as of 2020 data. It's expected to go high.
Still remain very low, about 0.7% as of 2020 data. This insurance penetration rate, however, we've seen a positive side where we expect accelerated growth within this industry, expected to be over 10% in the coming years.
Haj Kadunabi Lubega, CEO of Uganda Regulatory Authority, says as the insurance industry, they are the first table developed for Uganda, and the undertaking as the regulatory industry is to make a working environment, facilitate what is required, and handle business professionally in the country.
Our undertaking as the Insurance Regulatory Authority is, we will make the working environment, the regulatory environment, and indeed we facilitate what is required to do business professionally in Uganda, and that's why we approach various funders.
Patrick Ochaya, Deputy Secretary to the Treasurer, says the first mortality tables for Uganda, as many developing countries like Uganda have been using tables from countries UK, Kenya, India, South Africa, among others.
Indeed, many developing countries and emerging countries typically use out-of-date lifestyle insurance mortality tables from countries with more developed markets for pricing life insurance products, but this approach is very unlikely to reflect the likely lifespan of the local nationals, particularly very well, given the kind of difficult situations and peculiar situations.
Rukundo Robina, Smart 2014.
Well, when you look at the situations that we've been getting our tables from Kenya, United Kingdom, I think this is a big catch for Uganda, apparently.
And it's this move is also helping people get more engaged onto insurance policies, insurance covers, insurance packages, because only about 0.02% of Ugandans are, integrated onto insurance packages. We're not speaking about a single entity, but calculatively on all entities, it is still less than 10%. And when you see that, that's a worrying. That means people do not care. But they don't care whether they're insured or not.
But when you look at that, why do you think people are just actually shying away from insurance? Well, is it ignorance? Or they completely, you see, what I do know about Ugandans here is not about, sometimes we tend to say it is being ignorant, we have no idea. Or in most cases, we deliberately refuse
and feel like I don't need to be a part of that.
Yes, even when we know the importance. I think it is Uganda here where So
Okay, back to what you are asking me
because
for
of
my
insurance
opinion.
adverts, and anywhere.
It is because at some point, number one, there is time invested. There is time invested if you want to be insured. You give your time to go and you go to Sonko for explanation, to learn about insurance, first of all. Because it is something you might not know about, you want it, and if you want something, you always give it time first. And most people might not take it, serious to say that, okay, I have time to go to Sonko. They seem not to have that time of explanation. Again, that time, you might be costing me for that time. Sonko, you're not just going to allow appointments for free. So some insurers or some insurance companies give, consultation time to people. I know about 3, whereby you just not, because people are busy, accept that. And if Rita is providing time to you, that means it's coming with a cost. It's going to take around 2 hours explaining to you, and it comes with a lot of questions. I'm going to be blown up by what you're telling me, and I'm asking, so which one do you think is better for me? Can I insure fire? Can I can I take the car insurance, accident insurance, health insurance, life insurance? So you find you've got a lot. That means it has time. Number 2, why I think people are not, embracing that much. They feel like, what is there to lose?
And
What is there to lose?
Very honest with that when you say that people normally ask such questions. What is there to lose?
Some people, like you realize, majority of the people who do not, embrace insurance are relatively sliding to the low-income earners. You ask yourself, what am I going to insure? Number one, the cost that comes with insurance, the insurance cost is as well moderately not favoring these kind of people. And even when it's favoring, they tend not to know whether it's favoring. How will you know if you're not going to go there and ask the insurance package there? But insurance is very important. Whereas the low-income earners are not embracing this, it as well claims the ladder goes as well to the middle income status or the moderate people. You find a few are embracing it. They feel like when they have got savings, when they are planning for retirement, when someone is having an account that is securing their child's education. So they feel more comfortable with that than just you going to the insurers and putting their life insurance, all that. But the majority of the insurance, they tambulise the third party, because people realize that at least I have to make sure I meet that, because at some point it's going to be a requirement from government. Checkings on the road are happening, traffic ekuyimiriza. There is that third party insurance they are doing.
And some people actually don't pay for that insurance, not until
police traffic ekuyimiriza to check your credentials around there. So you realize that there is a lot that is happening. So it takes, it goes back to particular individual, what you want.
When you talk about even third-party insurance, I've worked with some individuals who are actually giving up these policies, and every time I've seen people approaching them, there's always one question. It's not even a question. They have a grudge. Bajja bemulugunya buli dakika. Kakati nsasula byaki bino tebina na kyebinyamba. Buli mwaka nensasula emitwalo 7-8 tejina gyenyamba. So every time, imagine if someone continuously has that in their mind. So regardless of whether someone's car is actually got into an accident or anything, they don't even care following.
Let me tell you something. There are things, life is segmented. Okay, life is just open, but individuals segment themselves towards their kind of life they want to live. Which is why someone might be wanting to go on a vacation after every week, and they want to spend their weekend on the beach, whereas the other person is not even wanting to. Even when they've got capacity to do that, they feel that is not their thing. So every individual, every organization, you know, it has that culture in them, what they really want. And don't be surprised that what I do or what Sonko does might impact one of the family members. You're actually motivating or demotivating one of the family members. When someone sees you brushing your teeth every after meal, after lunch, someone is going to say, okay, I want to be that way. Whereas if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. No one is going to care again. You realize that. So this goes back to, you know, individualities and how you would want to move your life. And we're not saying that if you're not insured, you're in a problem or you're at risk of dying or death. No, you're not. Because how many people have you seen because you're not insured? You're not insured on life, you're not insured on health, you're not insured on your car or fire. Have you died? You haven't. Did she die? You haven't. But if you are a businessman, a businesswoman, you know the need of your business, you know what you want, it is always better for you to get insured. Why? If you're speaking about maximizing profits, maximizing and protecting your firm and organization, the only way you're going to always be assured of you mitigating those risks involved is being insured. Now I'm not speaking to the low-income earners. Whether you get insured, whether you're not, you're still living. It's okay, and no one is bothering you to do that. But for the business people owning firms, owning transportation companies, you need to insure your buses, you need to insure your taxis.
But also when you talk about, there is also health insurance. Very, very, very vital. I've been telling people I got insured during my primary till my Form 6.
And you stopped the insurance. Your father stopped the insurance.
I think the premium my father had actually put me on was education, strictly primary and secondary. And what I was told is that they would chop on his salary. And the good thing, I do believe the good thing was I was not a sickly person.
Atinalaba insurance you're not insuring something that you're not even.
So it is always, by the way, good for you to insure. No, insurance doesn't necessarily mean or you know insuring at your or money insurance about a consent. Go no and mama go rwala go insuring everyone they be okay that chick. Insurance where akafuna chizike. No yenda no rwala.
But what I can say, there are now technologies with digitalization that is happening around revolving, even telecom companies now are helping people get on insurance programmings or programs. You can, did you know actually you can insure your, structure a plan of your insurance even when you've not gone to the insurance company? Did you know that? All you need to know is that I need to secure money for health. I need to secure money in case my car breaks down. I need to secure money in case my house gets fire. Stop smiling at me. That means you need to securing your future, but that means you need to save. You always need to be prepared. Insurance is just preparedness in that risk that comes and unprecedented risk that comes. So how are you going to cover for all of that if you're not prepared? So you can as well meet all those demands even when you've not gone to the insurance. But the good thing with the insurance company is that you are sure that money is there. Whereas when you're storing it for yourself, in case of Sonko's introduction, which is very soon, why are you surprised? Mugola is surprised. Which is very soon. In case it comes, that means it's going to come to me. And the first option, I'm going to look out for that car money I saved somewhere. So it is always, what I can say here is that insurance companies are always the best savers when it comes to covers, meeting risks after dangers have happened.
But also that depends on how you're going to trust them. Because I do believe most Ugandans don't really trust the insurance companies. I still don't know why. And I know they deliberately refuse.
At some point,
to
you
accept
feel like
some of
it's
this
a high
information.
end, it's a high-end game.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a high-end game.
And
That's why you
abagaga
see
nabo
people passing, you know, supermarkets. No, and let me tell you something. As we are in escalation of prices of soap being high, go to the supermarket. You'll be surprised.
Hey, and by the way, when
Please
you
go
say
and shop
high-end,
from the supermarket.
Sometimes people who actually shop from the supermarket don't even know of the prices. Not until maybe it goes in there. I've realized people will actually go into a supermarket, they can actually buy a liter of milk at 2.5, and he does not know. And they will actually go and buy sugar, regardless of whether a kilo is at 5,000, even initially when it was at 3.5. They don't really care. Now, not until maybe these prices start escalating, then he realizes, hey, kumbe sukari tayari wa 15.
Yali wameka.
Yali wameka. Kati ye yali abimanyide. So that is why in most cases, even when we are
But
in a
what I
situation
am
of this,
telling you
rarely
is that
people-
supermarkets are relatively selling commodities cheaper. The commodities that have risen on, especially on soap. I'm quoting soap because I've bought on a supermarket, in a supermarket, and I've bought on, you know, across the roads shops. And you're realizing the soap that is tagged 8,000 in the shop, in the supermarket is being sold at 7,000. So there is a 1,000 cut. So I mean, where would you want to shop from?
Okay.
You can answer that.
Well, after the break, we are going to discuss public health financing. You ever thought about it? And we're going deeper to analyze it. We have an expert who's going to give us a view from the expert angle. And definitely, this is a Kickstarter for your morning.
And
Keep
wouldn't
it
you want that
SMB
for your morning?